hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Today got a little exercise for you. This is one that I tend to go through with most of my students, or those who are looking to develop their lead guitar playing anyway. And I'll be honest with you, there's nothing at all earth-shattering or groundbreakingly new here. We're essentially talking about chord note targeting, which is something that I've mentioned in these videos many times, as I'm sure you're aware. But what makes this exercise work so well is that it's just a manner of delivery, really, and it gets you thinking about the fretboard and where notes are and what notes are in chords, and just sharpens up generally your note awareness, I think. So before we go any further, we need a jam track to play over, so here it is. And your immediate reaction to that is probably, okay, yeah, that's in D minor, so I'll do this. D minor pentatonic, why not? And of course that would work, but there's, you know, a little bit more than you can do. As I said, chord note targeting. So in order to target notes that are in the chords, we need to know what notes are in the chords. That would be a good first step. And there's a lot of, jargon talked about, kind of figuring out what notes are in chords when you hear terms like flat thirds and fifths or whatever. I want to strip all of that away here, and all you got to do is remember two simple numbers, 4-3 and 3-4. Okay, here's what I mean. Any major chord consists of a root note, then the note 4 frets above that, then the note 3 frets above that. So for example, if you were looking at a C major chord, you'd have a C note, then the note 4 frets above the C note, which is an E. Then the note 3 frets above the E, which is a G. There you go. Those are what notes are in a C major chord, C, E and G. A minor chord, it's the other way around. It's 3, then 4. So you'd have a root note, then the note 3 frets above the root note, then the note 4 frets above that note. And if you were starting from a D note, a D minor chord, that would be your root. Then you'd go 3 frets above the D, which would take you to F, and then you'd go 4 frets above the F, which would take you to A. D, F and A. Those are the 3 notes that are in a D minor chord. And once you know that, you can practice it. If you want to make use of your downtime, for example, when you're kind of stuck in traffic, or when you're waiting for your turn at the supermarket checkout or whatever, just set yourself some little musical mental arithmetic problems. All you got to do is, if it's major is 4-3, minor is 3-4, just work out what notes are in some random major and minor chords, just to occupy your time. It's kind of the musical equivalent of doing times tables in order to get good at arithmetic, and it works. Anyway, we've got an idea now of how to figure out what notes are in the chords. The next thing to do is to draw up a plan. I did one. Here it is. There's the chord sequence, and you can see that the notes that I've circled in red are the notes that I'm going to target in the solo. I'm going to just kind of use those as the main focal points of any solo that I play. But first of all, we need to know where those notes are. Now, this is another thing that tends to kind of be quite daunting for people, learning where all of the notes are on the neck. And that's the mistake you're making, okay? If that's what you're trying to do, you don't have to learn where all of the notes are on the neck. You just need to know where the ones that you need are. That's the crucial thing. Trying to learn the entire neck, every string on every fret, every note. It's a bit like trying to learn a language by trying to memorize a dictionary. It's just not going to work. So just learn the bits that are going to be relevant to you at that particular moment, and then gradually you will kind of piece it all together, and eventually the whole neck will start to become apparent to you. So We're doing this in D minor, and if we're using D minor pentatonic position 1, there it is, you can see it on the screen, we're at the 10th fret, okay, which is close enough to the 12th fret really, isn't it? And that's a nice easy reference point. If you know what all of the notes are at the 12th fret because they're the same as the open strings, so for instance it's E, A, D, G, B, E, then if you know where the B note is, 12th fret on the B string, then how difficult is it going to be to find a B flat or a C note from that reference point? If you know that the G string, the 3rd string, has a G note at the 12th fret, how difficult is it going to be to find where an F note is in relation to that? So you can gradually just like piece it together. Most of my students take about 5 minutes to do this, to find where the notes are that they've chosen, if they've got a nice easy reference point like the 12th fret to go from. So yeah, do that, okay, find out where all of your chosen target notes are, and then play them over the jam track, like this. And if you do that several times, you know, it starts to kind of get settled into the muscle memory, and you know where those notes are. Always a good idea as you're playing the notes to just mentally or even out loud say the names of the notes, so you're starting to associate note names with kind of places on the neck, and that really is the secret to it. Then, once that becomes something that you can do without really having to think about it too much, again, it's going to take you minutes, certainly not hours, and certainly not days or weeks. It's going to be something that you can probably kind of master in, you know, one practice session. Then it's just a case of joining the dots. Just join those notes up with some D minor pentatonic licks, a bit like this. I don't know about you, but I think that works pretty well, to be honest. And how much effort did it take? You know, not a lot. As I say, most of my students can kind of crack on with this and get good results like that within the space of one practice session. And just imagine if you do this 2 or 3 times a week, maybe more. But let's say 2 or 3 times a week, using a different jam track each time, you're going to be learning what notes are in the chords. You're going to be learning where those notes are on the neck. And as I say, you're just focusing on a little bit of the neck that's kind of in and around the scale pattern that you're going to be using. And, you know, gradually all of these little areas of the neck that you're learning like this, and, you know, importantly, you're getting the instant, or as near as makes no difference, instant gratification of coming up with a good solo as a result of it. You know, that's really the incentive to carry on doing it. You know, it's that reward for putting in the work. You know, all of these little areas of the neck that you're learning by doing this in a different area each time, they all start to join up, and within, you know, a very short space of time in the grand scheme of things, you know, a few months at the most, you're going to have a really good knowledge of the neck. You're going to know what notes are in chords. it's just all going to come together, and you're going to find yourself just able to do this kind of thing on the fly. You can improvise your way through this. You're not going to have to sit down and draw out that plan and think too much about it in advance. It's just going to be something that you can do at the drop of a hat. And so many great guitar solos use this basic principle. I mean, off the top of my head, something like the Hotel California solo would be a prime example of, just basic little pentatonic licks, and then we just kind of land on a strong chord note. And how many times has that guitar solo been voted, the best guitar solo ever played? A few times, by different guitar magazines. But there's the point, okay? It just sounds melodic, and it gives cool results, and it's easy. What more can you want? So there you go. I hope you've found this useful, informative, and maybe even a little bit inspiring. I'll just mention, of course, that you can download the jam track that we've been looking at in this lesson today from the description box below. And talking about links in the description box, there are a few courses on sale on my website. There's a brand new one which I haven't spoken about yet in any of the videos. It's an absolute raw beginners course for people who've never picked up the guitar before. If you've got a friend or a relative that's looking to play the guitar and doesn't know where to start, then check out this course. You can preview it for free like all of the courses. I'm not going to go through what all the courses are and what they contain, but basically there's one on modes, there's one on blues guitar playing, there's one on the basics of lead guitar playing, and now there's this one for absolute complete beginners to the guitar to get them started. You can preview all the courses for free, and they're getting good reviews on the Udemy tuition platform, so check out the review section there. I think the lead guitar one, the Play Lead Guitar the Easy Way, is actually the highest rated course for lead guitar on Udemy at the moment, which is quite an achievement I'm proud of. Yes. Anyway, those are the courses that are on sale. You can see the URL on screen there at the moment, or if you prefer some tailored one-to-one guitar tuition, then give me a shout via the details at the end of this video. If you live on Teesside in the northeast of England, you can of course come along for a face-to-face lesson, or wherever else you are in the world, you can have a lesson via Skype. And whichever way you do it, your first lesson is free, so nothing at all to lose. Why not give it a go? If you're looking for some rather stylish apparel to clothe yourself with, then also check out my Teespring store, where you can buy t-shirts of the kind you can see on screen right now, featuring my logo, and there's a couple there with quotes that have apparently given people a chuckle in one or two of my videos, so I thought I'd put some of those on t-shirts as well. So there you go, check them out, and why not treat yourself? And with that, I'll wish you all a good day. Say thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, notification bell, give me a like while you're at it, and I will look forward to seeing you all again the next time around. Bye for now, folks.